universe, particularly the latter. 3. The Divine Counselors. These Trinity origin beings are the counsel of deity to the realms of the 7 superuniverses. They are not reflective of the divine counsel of the Trinity. They are that counsel. There are 21 billion counselors in service, and 3 billion are assigned to each superuniverse. Divine counselors are the associates and equals of the universal censors and the perfecters of wisdom, from 1 to 7 counselors being associated with each of these latter personalities. All 3 orders participate in the government of the Ancients of Days, including major and minor sectors, in the local universes and constellations, and in the councils of the local system sovereigns. We act as individuals, as I do in inditing this statement, but we also function as a trio whenever the occasion requires. When we act in an executive capacity, always there are associated together a perfecter of wisdom, a universal censor, and from 1 to 7 divine counselors. 1 perfecter of wisdom, 7 divine counselors, and 1 universal censor constitute a tribunal of Trinity divinity, the highest mobile advisory body in the universes of time and space. Such a group of 9 is known either as a fact-finding or as a truth-revealing tribunal, and when it sits in judgment upon a problem and renders a decision, it is just as if an Ancient of Days had adjudicated the matter, for in all the annals of the superuniverses such a verdict has never been reversed by the Ancients of Days. When the 3 Ancients of Days function, the Paradise Trinity functions. When the Tribunal of 9 arrives at a decision following its united deliberations, to all intents and purposes the Ancients of Days have spoken. And it is in this manner that the Paradise rulers make personal contact in administrative matters and governmental regulation with the individual worlds, systems, and universes. Divine counselors are the perfection of the divine counsel of the Paradise Trinity. We represent, in fact are, the counsel of perfection. When we are supplemented by the experiential counsel of our associates, the perfected and Trinity-embraced beings of evolutionary ascent, our combined conclusions are not only complete, but replete. When our united counsel has been associated, adjudicated, confirmed, and promulgated by a universal censor, it is very probable that it approaches the threshold of universal totality. Such verdicts represent the nearest possible approach to the absolute attitude of deity within the time-space limits of the situation involved and the problem concerned. 7 divine counselors in liaison with the trinitized evolutionary trio, a mighty messenger, 1 high in authority, and 1 without name and number, represent the nearest superuniverse approach to the union of the human viewpoint and the divine attitude on near paradisiacal levels of spiritual meanings and reality values. Such close approximation of the united cosmic attitudes of the creature and the Creator is only surpassed in the Paradise Bestowal Sons, who are, in every phase of personality experience, God and man. 4. The Universal Censors. There are exactly 8 billion universal censors in existence. These unique beings are the judgment of deity. They are not merely reflective of the decisions of perfection. They are the judgment of the Paradise Trinity. Even the Ancients of Days do not sit in judgment, except in association with the universal censors. 1 censor is commissioned on each of the billion worlds of the central universe, being attached to the planetary administration of the resident Eternal of Days. Neither perfecters of wisdom nor divine counselors are thus permanently attached to the Havona administrations, nor do we altogether understand why universal censors are stationed in the central universe. Their present activities hardly account for their assignment in Havona, and we therefore suspect that they are there in anticipation of the needs of some future universe age in which the Havona population may partially change. 1 billion censors are assigned to each of the 7 superuniverses, both in an individual capacity and in association with perfecters of wisdom and divine counselors. They operate throughout all divisions of the 7 superuniverses. Thus, the censors act on all levels of the grand universe, from the perfect worlds of Avona to the councils of the system sovereigns, and they are an organic part of all dispensational adjudications of the evolutionary worlds. Whenever and wherever a universal censor is present, then and there is the judgment of deity. And since the censors always render their verdicts in liaison with perfecters of wisdom and divine counselors, such decisions embrace the united wisdom, counsel, and judgment of the Paradise Trinity. In this juridical trio, the perfecter of wisdom would be the I was, the divine counselor the I will be, but the universal censor is always I am. The censors are universe-totaling personalities. When 1,000 witnesses have given testimony, or 1,000,000, when the voice of wisdom has spoken, and the counsel of divinity has recorded, when the testimony of ascendant perfection has been added, then the censor functions, and there is immediately revealed an unerring and divine totaling of all that has transpired. And such a disclosure represents the divine conclusion, the sum and substance of a final and perfect decision. Therefore, when a censor has spoken, no one else may speak, for the censor has depicted the true and unmistakable total of all that has gone before. When he speaks, there is no appeal. Most fully do I understand the operation of the mind of a perfecter of wisdom, but I certainly do not fully comprehend the working of the adjudicating mind of a universal censor. It appears to me that the censors formulate new meanings and originate new values from the association of the facts, truths, and findings presented to them in the course of an investigation of universe affairs. It seems probable that the universal censors are able to bring forth original interpretations of the combination of perfect creator insight and the perfected creature experience. This association of paradise perfection and universe experience undoubtedly eventuates a new value in ultimates. But this is not the end of our difficulties regarding the working of the minds of the universal censors. Having made due allowances for all that we know or conjecture about the functioning of a censor in any given universe situation, we find that we are still unable to predict decisions or to forecast verdicts. We very accurately determine the probable result of the association of creator attitude and creature experience, but such conclusions are not always accurate forecasts of censor disclosures. It seems likely that the censors are in some manner in liaison with the deity absolute. We are otherwise unable to explain many of their decisions and rulings. Perfecters of wisdom, divine counselors, and universal censors, together with the 7 orders of Supreme Trinity personalities, constitute those 10 groups which have been sometimes designated stationary sons of the Trinity. Together they comprise the grand corps of Trinity administrators, rulers, executives, advisors, counselors, and judges. Their numbers slightly exceed 37 billion. 2,070,000,000 are stationed in the central universe, and just over 5 billion in each superuniverse. It is very difficult to portray the functional limits of the stationary sons of the Trinity. It would be incorrect to state that their acts are finite-limited, for there are transactions of superuniverse record which indicate otherwise. They act on any level of universe administration or adjudication that may be required by time-space conditions and that pertains to the past, present, and future evolution of the Master Universe. 5. Inspired Trinity Spirits. I will be able to tell you very little concerning the inspired Trinity Spirits, for they are one of the few wholly secret orders of beings in existence. Secret, no doubt, because it is impossible for them fully to reveal themselves even to those of us whose origin is so near the source of their creation. They come into being by the act of the Paradise Trinity, and may be utilized by any one or two of the deities, as well as by all 3. We do not know whether these spirits are of completed numbers or are constantly increasing, but we incline to the belief that their number is not fixed. We fully understand neither the nature nor the conduct of the inspired spirits. They may possibly belong to the category of superpersonal spirits. They seem to